Okay, so now we're going to use longitude and latitude to find the distance between Darby and Davidson High School. All right, so using longitude and latitude, those are coordinates that can be useful in finding distances here on planet Earth. Planet Earth is probably where most of you were born. I was actually born on a different planet. I can't tell you which one though. Anyways, distances is important for travel, transportation, communication, all kinds of things. All right, so we got these crazy coordinates right here. To make the problem a little bit more manageable, 40 degrees and 83 degrees, have what we see right there. Darby and Davidson's so close that Davidson's actually at 40, 83 as well. We're gonna make the computation somewhat easier. In this 2 minutes and 6 seconds, we're gonna translate to 2.06. And then this 10 minutes and 5 seconds over here, if you guys understand longitude and latitude, we're going to translate that to 10.05. All right, so that's x1, y1. All right, then we're going to translate the coordinates to Davidson. Ugh, I hate Davidson High School. All right, I don't know. Who would want to go there? We're going to translate the 2 minutes and 58 seconds to 2.58, and then comma 9.21. I'm going to call that x2, y2. All right, so I'm just figuring out what's going on. Translated the coordinates into some kind of manageable numbers. Now I'm going to use the distance formula. All right, so the distance between Darby and Davidson. Let's remember the distance formula. X sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. All right, and then I'm just going to plug in things so tedious. X sub 2 is going to be that 2.58. X sub 1 is 2.06. Then that number is going to go there. This number is going to go there, so on and so forth. So I'm going to get some decimals. All right, this is why I'm dealing with decimals right now. So when you have to use the distance formula in real life, they're probably not going to be real pretty numbers like they were before. They're going to be some crazy decimals. That's what we have to deal with in the real world. Things usually aren't so nice, such as whole numbers. Plus y sub 2 is 9.21 minus 10.05. All right, that's supposed to be a 5. So, as I progress right along, now I just have to be careful with my calculations. There's nothing wrong with using a calculator, especially with these decimals. That's why we have this tool. All right, so that's going to be 0.52 squared, then 9.21 minus 10.05 is going to be negative 0.84. All right, let me rewrite that a little bit, make it look nicer. 0.52 squared plus negative 0.84 squared. All right, so then I get 0.52 squared. I'm just going to calculate all this numbers, and I get some crazy numbers where you're going to get 0.976. All right, I did a lot of work in my calculator off screen. Make sure you know how to use a calculator. If you can't figure out how to do the correct operations, let us know. So we're going to round this one to the nearest thousand. So something you're going to see, this means approximately, right, about, or approximately. All right, it's not exactly this number, but it's a number very close to 0.989. All right, so then you can compare that to other longitude and latitude coordinates, figure out how far they are. Darby and Davidson's really not that far. Kind of seems far because you have to drive all the way through town, but if you look through it, it's really just one neighborhood separating the two. All right, go Darby, Wildcats stink, Panthers rule. All right, now we got another ugly decimal problem for us to practice. All right, so I stole this problem from the air test. Will we take the air test this year? To be determined. Anywho, AC has endpoints A, -2, -2.4, and C is 4, 1. Point B is on AC and located at 0.1, -1. What is the ratio of AC to BC? Round your answer to the nearest tenth. So this is going to be really good practice on just using the distance formula. So I'm going to write it right here. Distance formula equals the giant square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. Cool beans. All right, now I need to find AC. I need to find the length of AC. So let's go ahead and just, for fun, I'm going to call C x sub 2, y sub 2. And A is going to be x sub 1, y sub 1. All right, this is very dense stuff. Distance formula seems complicated at first. Now we're throwing in decimals. Trust me, you guys will get good at it by the end of the school year. And then it just also depends on how well you are with plugging in numbers. As you can see, we're going to have some nice simplification after I plug in y sub 2 and all that junk, because I get a bunch of minus and negative. And remember, minus and negative becomes a positive. So I'm going to get 4 plus 2 squared plus 1 plus 2.4 squared. And then once I get to here, things clean up a lot better. You might think solving all this might be a little hard, but realize each step is easy. 4 plus 2, 6. 1 plus 2.4, 3.4. All right, think about running a marathon. Running a marathon sounds really hard, but the whole time you're just picking up your foot and put it in front of yourself. That's all it is. So you just got to break it down into easier and easier steps. That's why I try not to skip steps while I solve this. All right, I try to do each and every step, and it's going to eliminate my mistakes. Just like running a marathon, you have to do each and every step. You put all these steps together, though, it can become very challenging and quite hard. All right, and then we get a number approximately 6.9. All right, that was a doozy. All right, that was just for AC. So AC was that number. Let's cut it and move it over here. Now we have to do the same thing for BC. I'll keep C labeled as x sub 2, y sub 2, but now I'm going to label B as, in this new problem, I have to redo the distance formula. A lot of repetition, just practice. And band, orchestra, choir, whenever you learn a new song, you got to practice it a bunch of times. In football, basketball, soccer, you guys learn new plays, you practice a bunch of times. All right, we got to practice the fundamentals so we can get good at the complicated stuff. All right, so plug in things again. 4 minus 0.1 squared plus 1 minus -1 squared. Now I'm just going to clean this up before I start to do any computations. We're on this right part of this, it becomes 1 plus 1 squared. Because all I did was take this minus negative, make it a positive. So then I'm going to start doing computations. 4 minus 0.1 is 3.9 squared. 1 plus 1 is 2 squared. And remember with these videos, if I ever go a little too fast, pause it, rewind it, hear it again. Or you might say, hey, I think I can do this on my own. Try it on your own. Pause the video, try it on your own. Then you can watch the video to see how well you did it. So about 4.4. All right, so it says, what's the ratio of AC to BC? So we didn't even answer the question yet. AC to BC is going to be about, so something we should do to get the most exact answer, because a lot of times when you do the square root of a number, it's going to be some crazy decimal, is actually use the square roots. And then we type this into a traditional calculator, it would look something like this. I'm not sure if you're using your cell phone. Again, I hate cell phone calculators. If I was in a math class your age, I would not use it. That might be all you have access to. You can download some cool ones on your iPad. Maybe you guys have one lying around your house. But anywho, have to use a calculator. And it's about 1.6 after you plug it into your calculator. Again, if you use your traditional calculator, it should look something like this when it's all said and done. Let me just double check my work, make sure I plugged it in right. Yep. Okay, so that was a doozy of a question. You have a very similar question below. Do it for Canvas. Remember, there's support videos in Canvas if you end up missing it, so you can go back and try, or not try, do or do not, there is no try. You can go back and do it to get perfection. All right, you really control your own grade. All right, so do it. Good luck. Have fun.